Thank you very much.
And you just listen to a young girl who was saying that the Nigerian community here is totally very angry. It covers all the aspects and various techniques of our development.
Was the Ijaw country of the Niger Delta of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He went to several schools. His major academic genesis was at the government college, Ujeli.
Go gather, destroy their food. With the camp and that other camp, Tongo camp, you don't compensate everybody. But so
in its key generation sometimes. Today our focus will be on the style of T.G. Clark, a poet and writer, and we shall also be very interested in his point Akmo dancing.
Some lives are meaningful, some are empty. There are lives that are meaningful, with too much meaning and riches to offer humankind. You know, after some of these earthly adventures and no more, one can still find footprints of these great lives on the pavements of our contemporary life.
Good evening, you're welcome to the program Green Planet. Welcome to Fighting Poverty and Engaging Conservation Through Sounds 2010. It is part of the Conference on Sustainable Strategies and Practices for Development 2010 as well.
So we're talking about the levels of food processing, which has a very important role in traditional Africa and developing economies. And so I will just try to highlight some of the important things that we need to do when we tend to process fish or food, to make sure that at least the product is safe in terms of human consumption, and is safe in terms of ecosystem health, and also safe in terms of socio-economic development, that is improved livelihoods. Since most of the fishing ports are isolated, the very important ones, we cannot be talking about cryogenics, that's not immediate preservation. So most of the time we find our fish product maybe less than 20% presented as I want to use the word raw fish because sometimes it's not very fresh. And of course 80% is produced as cured fish. Cured fish means either smoked and or dried. And we know that in the humid tropics, because of the impending limitations to drying, we have been in this habit of, I want to use the word smoke drying, but I would prefer to use the word smoke today as a difference to drying, so that we can draw a line. But we all know the problems with traditional fish smoking, which is compromising the advantage we have through this kind of technology. We know that we are in trouble with our products. Many of you who probably have been doing exportation of fish know that you have lots of problems getting your fish into the United States and EU. The fresh fish, the material level is very high. You're having something like 100,000 to 1 million cells per gram. And the smoked product contains a lot of hydrocarbons. So it may not be a problem here for now, but we know that the problems in future are very, very clear. There have been cases of neoplasm, respiratory problems, and things like that. So we think that we have been doing research on trying to introduce the drying process, not to stop smoking as such, but to try to reduce the amount of fish that is smoked. Because apart from the effect on the environment, in fact, apart from the carbon emission and the effect of the product and its effect on the operatives, we all know that we have virtually lost about 30% of our mangrove woodlands, our coastal forest, and presently we are losing between 1 and 3% annually. So we are now introducing improved solar fish drying, which initially was not easy because of our high humidities. But we have been carrying out research, and we are now sure that we can put in some of these structures. And and to make sure the drying can take less than two days, because if you introduce a technology that takes a much longer time than the smoking, then no matter the advantage you have, you're going to have a lot of problems with the fishers. So after I prepared this paper, we validated one of these dryers. I'm trying to make a list of objectives of this improved drying, reduction of deforestation, environmental and human impact associated with traditional fish smoking, while improving the well-being of traditional fish processors, because drying has no positive negative effect on the processor in terms of contamination from smoke and high temperatures. And the dried product normally has a much lower moisture content than the smoke product, so it can store on the shelf for 7-8 months. And of course, because the processing temperature is below 80 degrees centigrade, as opposed to the smoking, which goes up to about 170 degrees centigrade, the heat damage is much reduced. The nutrient losses are much more reduced than traditional fish smoking. And since the product has a moisture content of generally less than 15%, we have a product that is about 7-8 months on the shelf, and that gives the fishmongers the flexibility. They always sell when the price is good. So that will call for improved livelihood. The storage stability, and then I've put in some index there, child index, safety of the operatives, and things like that. And each plus indicates that if we use fish smoke as a baseline, as a 0 point, we're saying that we're improving by each plus, we're improving each of the indicators by 20%. So if you have 4 plus, so you think that you are improving the indicator by 80% with these 2 pluses. So if we have information that during traditional fish smoking, we're having about 1/3 of the protein lost. That's about 30-35% of protein lost. In traditional drying, we're probably operating at less than 5%. And because we have this kind of compensation, protein levels for fresh fish moves from 20% to about 60-65. So if you have a compensation of 20 to 65%, and you're losing just about 1 or 2%, then you want to think that the technology is worthwhile. Otherwise, if you keep the fish fresh, it's going to get spoiled. You're going to lose all that protein. So it's a simple dryer. You build that. I based my calculation on a dryer of 1 meter 20 by 1 meter by 4 meters, which will have the raw material between 300 to about 400 kilograms. When it is dry, end up with about 150 to 200 kilograms. And that will mean that when you want to sell, the conversion factor between the smoke and between the fresh and the dried material will be about a factor of 3, at least 3.5. So if you are doing economics, you sell. If you buy a kilogram of fish for 1,000 francs, the dried product will be sold for at least 4,000 francs. So it's so that's the solar dry. There are 2 versions. If you use this, it's going to be limited in the sense that it's going to take about 3-4 days to get dry. Under the conditions here, in places like the northwest, in the western province, like the north, in places like Yaoundé, you probably will be drying at about 2.5 days. But you can see there's something lying on the floor there. There's a panel. A solar panel that would activate the blower, a fan. So that as you are losing moisture, the fan is blowing the wet material out of the place. And then what is not there is a battery system so that you can dry at night. If you go to the sea and come back at night, you want to use dry, you can dry at night, and then of course you can dry during the rainy season. So those are some of the provisions we have for this technology. The prototype is going to cost about 600,000 francs. But because it's a prototype, by the time we go into mass production, we should produce at about half that price. The lifespan should be years, 10-15 years. The only thing you probably want to change once in a while is the plastic, because it's going to shy to this acid rain and changes in the temperature and things. But the rest of the grain and the solid structure will last for years, 15-20 years. So if you are spending 300,000-400,000 francs with technology that gives you probably a profit level of more than 70,000 francs a month, then you might as well calculate as an investment in about 4 months, so it's not really striking for a schedule of more than 15 days. Because you normally in drying, you prepare the fish and give the largest surface area possible, so that the drying is faster. So we have at least 8 months that is effective. But as I've said, those batches will help us to make sure that we have a steady flow. And as I've said, I've been working on this drying thing for the last 8 years. And the way we treat the fish, there's no way it can get spoiled. If it's in the race, no way it can get spoiled. It will eventually dry. Yes. But it's something that should be your preoccupation. It will get dry, it cannot get spoiled.
Oh yeah, thank you. I'm coming to you, but the level of sensitization, Dokia is now. Are they aware that there's something that is better, that will cost effective?
Yes. We ran some sensitizations in Dokia. We're not going to eat now, but we're in India, and as I said, the sensitization is a continuous process. What we're trying to ask the mayor to do is that once we build the first prototype and the pool see that it's working effectively, it's going to have a multiplier effect. People are going to imbibe it much faster. But we have sensitized the neighborhood about 600 fishers for now.
Dr. Yabi's presentation was very apt to the theme of the conference, especially as it touched an aspect of our social life, our economic life, and it propounded on a mechanism to step up access to protein by conserving what we'd already harvested. Cameroonians suffer a lot of post-harvest losses, and also are by their preferences to traditional smoking facilities exposed to a lot of carbon consumption with dry fish and so on. And therefore we needed to understand the ways forward from this system. Are we trying to reduce our dependence on traditional dryers that were also impacting on wood harvesting and aspects like conservation, and also the preservation of our forest resources? And the broader picture of this was the reason why Dr. Ayabi Josh Devine, who is a researcher at Arrey Cameroon, had to come in to facilitate our understanding of these broad and very linked areas within the periscope of sustainable development and sustainability in Cameroon and possibly Africa. Thank you. That's been Arrey Mbongaya for the African Center for Community and Development.
Thank you very much. And you just listened to a young girl who was saying that the Nigerian community here is totally very angry. It covers all the aspects and various sectors of our general. This was the Ijaw country of the Niger Delta of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He went to several schools. His major academic genesis was at the government college, Ujeli.
Go gather, destroy their food. With the camp and that other camp, Tongo camp, you don't compensate everybody.
In its key generation sometimes. Today our folk will be in the style of J.P. Clark, a poet and writer, and we shall also be very interested in his poem Akmo Dancer.
Some lives are meaningful, some are empty. Lives that are meaningful, with too much meaning and riches to offer humankind. After some of these earthly adventures and more, one can still find footprints of these great lives on the pavements of our contemporary life.
Good evening, you're welcome to the program Green Planet.